With the timeless look of a classic 80s sport bike and the performance of a modern-day motorcycle, it's no wonder why the Kawasaki ZRX1200 is still sold out as an enthusiast trophy. It's a bike with a huge legacy, yet a small price tag. So with that being said, let's take a little time and get to know this acquired taste of a motorcycle. Hey, you come around here often? I heard they don't make them like you anymore. I don't mind your high mileage. You make up for it by the way you ride and look. In all seriousness, this bike is no bike to be taken lightly. The more I get to know about it, the more I want one for myself. The ZRX1200 is often called the Eddie Lawson Replica, but it's actually a replica of a replica. It draws inspiration from the 80s KZ1000R, which was actually made as an ode to Eddie Lawson, who was a 4-time world champion in the 500cc MotoGP. Being first released to the Japanese market in 2001, it made its ways to American shores in 2005, just to be discontinued in 2008. What Kawasaki had in mind when they built this bike, they wanted a naked muscle motorcycle to have the performance abilities of modern motorcycles while still holding on to that classic late 70s, early 80s sport bike look. And that's exactly what they succeeded with. The ZRX1200 is all engine, all muscle. With it being a liquid-cooled 1,164cc inline 4-stroke, 4-cylinder engine with a 5-speed transmission and 4 carburetors, this bike produces a top speed of 155 miles per hour, redlining at 10,500 RPM. It's been measured to produce 122 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and 82.6 foot-pounds of torque at 7,000 RPM, which means the tune of this motorcycle is very much capable of handling a strong mid-range performance. With having a 4-into-1 stainless steel exhaust and being chain-driven, the ZRX1200 also comes with an adjustable suspension in the front and rear, with KYB rear shocks designed with a piggyback reservoir to adjust the preload and dampening, and having a Showa conventional front fork suspension. Now, the ZRX1200 is relatively not heavy for it being a naked muscle motorcycle, with its wet weight being about 500 pounds even. It does have a fuel tank of 5.3 gallons capacity, but it is worth notating that it's not known for having a great fuel economy of only averaging about 35 miles per gallon, when early 2000s motorcycles already at that time averaged about 46 miles per gallon. The ZRX1200 did come in 3 variants, with the ZRX being the base model having a round helmet and no fairing, and the ZRXR had a nose cone fairing, same as the earlier 1100 model, and the ZRXS being the newer variant having a larger bikini-style half fairing mounted to the frame. Besides the fairings, there is one difference between the ZRXR and the ZRXS. With the ZRXS was made with touring and long-distance riding in mind, so they did revise the dash a little bit by adding a temp gauge and a fuel gauge to it. Overall, the ZRX1200 is a great, powerful, nimble bike with a comfortable upright sitting position. It makes a great daily commuter to drive around town through, but it's also a pleasant recreational bike that can handle winding roads with a bit of a bite. In 2008, Kawasaki did update the ZRX models in the Japanese market by making them fuel injected and having a 6-speed transmission, but that also discontinued in 2016. It's rumored that the reason why they stopped producing the ZRX models in total was due to their carbureted engine not being able to comply with the stricter emissions regulations, but some also say that it's due to the drop in sales. Maybe it's both. Maybe due to the drop in sales, they didn't see that it was worth spending money into making the ZRX models more compliant with the stricter emissions regulations and standards. But like most discontinued motorcycles, once they stop being produced, they become a sought-out novelty. Take, for example, the Harley-Davidson FXR. The ZRX1200 did come in a few distinct colors, but in case you didn't know, Kawasaki's do ride faster when they're in that bright lime green color. Now, the ZRX1200 does have a cult-like fan base following. You're either a really big fan of it, or you do not understand what the fuss is about, why people like it, and you find it absolutely atrocious to look at. I have met both types of people. I personally, the more I got to know about this bike, the more I really wanted one, and I personally really like the look of it, but to each their own. To this day, the ZRX1200 has a very thriving and a very active community that I too want to be a part of one day. But until that day, thanks for watching this video. Feel free to leave your comments below if you're a fan of the Kawasaki ZRX1200 or how you feel about it. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe for more motorcycle content in the future. Stay safe, keep riding, and I hope you all have a great day.